Facts Only Boxing. Just got done watching Anthony Yarde dispatch Tony Arvelant, just really beat him down and get him out of there, as we expected he would. It was Anthony Yarde headlining the show, a kind of coming out party, starting to build him out up into a fighter that can, top the bill on his own, do his own kind of headlines, and then eventually, I know they'll be splitting him, Dubois, and the other prospects they got up, because that's been the game plan, hasn't it? Building each of them up so they become a headline star in their own right. And I think Anthony Yarde is well on the way to that. In terms of the fight, we knew what we were getting. Anthony Yarde was going to basically get rid of him sooner or later. It was just a matter of time. But I think the big takeaway from this fight is that we got to see him go a few more rounds. So you get to have a little look at things like stamina and how, with punchers, there's some punchers who are very dangerous early and their power fades with their stamina, and for the rest of the fight, if you weathered the storm for the first bit of it, they're gonna go long. I wanted to see if Anthony Yarde could maintain his power throughout. For the most part he did, but you could see that Anthony Yarde in the 7th, 8th is a bit less, there isn't a big difference, but he's a bit less dangerous than earlier on. It took him a little bit, some of the explosiveness left his punches, and it took him a bit longer to get the job done. By his own admission, after the fight, he said he wanted it done by the 7th, but he couldn't quite do that. After he got the knockdowns, you thought, okay, next body shot will get him. But he landed several body shots after that, and it just didn't do the job until, obviously, the corner, Tony Arvelant's corner jumped in and saved his life, because I didn't see at that point of the last 2 rounds or so of that fight. It just became such a one-sided beatdown. Arvelant was never going to win, and it was just, it's not good to see when he's barely defending himself. I mean, he's there, he's live, and he's competing a little bit, but there's no chance of him winning. I would have liked to have seen it stopped a round or 2 earlier. That would have been good. But overall, I think the most important thing is what we saw of Anthony Yarde today. Okay, so stamina. We know he'll have enough of that to compete. As it went on, he was getting tired, but he looked in good enough shape to have comfortably done the rounds, especially rounds that he's winning that clearly. There wouldn't have been a problem. But the main thing I really wanted to see, and the main thing I saw that it maybe is a point of concern for him is, okay, he got hit a little bit. When a fight goes as long as this fight did, you are going to get hit some. And, Tony Arvelant is no mug. He's got a decent record. And, he had to do something good to get to where he is, right? I can see a scenario where he struggles against much taller fighters, especially if they can box a little bit. And I know I'm a bit jumping ahead of myself, but I'm putting Kovalev in the ring with Anthony Yarde in my imagination as this fight is going on, and I'm thinking, okay, someone like Kovalev, who's a solid 6'2", 6'3", who can punch, who can box, how does Anthony Yarde do against that? And from what we've seen so far, if anything would trouble him, it would be someone like that, someone with a bit of size and someone with a bit of boxing ability, who's also a little bit dangerous as well, so he can't wade in or walk them down or be reckless with anything, that kind of thing. I don't know, and we won't know until he's forced to, but can he win a 12-round decision just boxing at a sort of medium pace, scoring with punches without trying to knock the other person out, as he might have to when he gets to world level? I don't know. That's the most interesting thing about him. We don't know what he's capable of, but I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm looking forward to seeing like how he steps up in class, and looking forward for his career. I know everyone's talking about the Buglioni fight, but we know that's not going to happen at this stage. If there's no purse bids involved or it's not mandated by anyone, the fight is not going to happen. Too much promotional and TV issues standing in the way of it, and there's not enough money to kind of break that ice, as there was for Mayweather Pacquiao and those kind of fights that go across networks. So that fight's gone. I think Jose Burton is too much trouble. I would completely understand if Anthony Yarde doesn't want to fight him, because at the end of the day, Buglioni beat him, so Buglioni is a prize. But Jose Burton, stylistically, it just might be a lot of trouble for not very much. because he doesn't have anything that Anthony Yarde would want. So I would understand why that fight wouldn't make sense for Team Yarde. I think, honestly, I want to see Anthony Yarde in with a faded ex-champ. I want to see him in with like a Sakio Bika or a sort of Alan Green, maybe even Chad Dawson, someone on that level where their name is worth something, but they're faded enough that, Yarde, they're just a name on Yarde's resume, and he gets a taste of what it's like to be in with a formerly world-class operator. And, that helps you arrive at that level. When you beat Chad Dawson, you start to, even though he's a faded Chad Dawson, you start to think, okay, I'm a world level fighter. This is where I'm at now. I'm in with the Chad Dawsons and people I saw growing up. Yeah, I've arrived, kind of thing. And this is where, we play for all the chips at this level. And yeah, I think it would be great for his development to do that. But if not that, I would hold him back from like trying to get a world title belt till at least next year. We have to see him do more rounds. I thought he got hit with a few 1-2s, things you don't want to see him getting hit with, and he'll always come out on the other side of the fight and be like, I know I could have done a little bit better, and everyone will say that. I think he'll step up as the opposition stepped up, but there are signs that he might need a little bit more time at European level. Maybe fight someone on Tony Arvelant's level, but who has extra bit to them, an extra thing they do a bit better than Arvelant, so maybe extra quick or with a bit more power, and see how he measures up with that. But I don't see anyone beating him until he gets to world level, and I don't want to start talking about the champions already, the Kovalevs and Peterbievs and guys like that, because he's quite a while off that, and he's going to be taking his time, as he himself and his team have said. So yeah, I don't want to start throwing him into those fantasy matchups. But yeah, point of concern, he was getting hit with 1-2s, and yeah, those kind of things. But he'll clean it up and he'll come again and he'll do better next time. But yeah, I'm really interested in Anthony Yarde's story. I'm going to be following it closely, obviously, and let's see where he gets to. He's got an interesting style, but yeah, being a 6 foot light heavyweight, can he make it to the top? Time will tell. Facts Only Boxing.